Hari Om. I myself, Archana Srivastava, presenting my reputed institute, Paramananda Institute of Yoga, Science and Research Center, Indore. As a faculty and professor of philosophy and yoga techniques, with the blessings of my respected Gurudev, Dr. Omanand Guruji. So let's start with the prayer. Om. 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 योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीना पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि. The one who cleans the mind through yoga, the one who cleans the speech through sentences, and the one who cleans the body through Ayurveda. I bow down with the folded palm to the highest of sages, Patanjali. I myself, Archana, is presenting today the social isolation issues topic here, which I got to debate or being a participation in IDY 2022 is the 8th edition of International Day of Yoga on 21st June 2022. This day will be marked as 8th edition. The United Nations General Assembly recognized 21st June as the International Day of Yoga at the initiative of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji in 2014. IYA has created an independent entity within itself named as IYA PRCB, Personal Certification Body, by giving functional autonomy to it. PRCB is approved under the scheme of voluntary certification of yoga professionals owned by Yoga Certification Board and launched by Ministry of Ayush. So let's start with our topic, social isolation. It is a way too easy to go about our busy lives and not notice symptoms of physical or mental illness. God has created our body with a built-in warning systems, which alerts us to the sign that we need to pay attention. Here are 5 warning signs of mental illness to watch for. First, long-lasting sadness or irritability. Second, extremely high and low moods. Third, excessive fear, worry, or anxiety. Number 4, social withdrawal or isolation. Number 5, dramatic changes in eating or sleeping habits. If you or someone knows are experiencing these symptoms, know them that is something trouble, and it's curable also and easily handled by our ancient yogic techniques. Social anxiety disorder is not the same things as shyness or introversions. Introverts derive energy and satisfaction from time, and in fact they often prefer it. Antarmukhi Sadasukhi. Social anxiety disorder suffers, however, abstain from social situations because of anxiety they experience around other people. The worst part of social anxiety disorder is the loneliness and isolation that results from avoiding social situations. The time you feel like you gave away too much, too soon, and for all wrong reasons. That day when you were unaware, you were responding from a place of former trauma and spilled out a lot of wayward emotions and energy, and later asked yourself, why did I do that? Why did I say all of that? So, number 1, love yourself. Moment when you didn't know what to say because you had been so isolated in your pain or out of touch and you couldn't easily filter and struggled with talking. Or when social anxiety prevents you from feeling comfortably accepted. Be kind to yourself. And if oversharing is a trait you are learning to work in with, yet when you think you exceeded and stepped over the line and it feels like you did something terribly wrong, it's okay. The time you lost control inside that challenging conversations and suffered in past anguish thinking you were not adequate to hold your own, or the phase when you felt lost and dashed that couldn't find the light and made a decision in the dark. Go easy on yourself. We are passing through these places together, all at different times. We are whole beings conditioned through life, deserving a patience, are ready to be explored. Sometimes we really don't feel like a complete person until we put ourselves together under and understand the pieces for what they are. But if we respond by aligning, and we can lose a sense of who we are after being alone for too long. I have seen many of us who have had dysfunctional families or marriages or trauma or loss feel lonely too. We try to cover it up with normal chit chat or unnecessarily knowledge. But people who caught in such good situations that really don't need verbal communication, that actually need attention and take care. Yes, we need to be happy with self, etc., but we cannot negate the importance of human connections in human experiences. Whatever journey we may have chosen for our soul experiences and evolution, we do need human love, touch, sharing, intimacy, and connections. Many have been on their own since lockdown. We have seen rise in mental health cases because of isolation, stress, and anxiety. The key for those who do feel lonely and lost, unsupported, or odd ones, but out is to first accept it. Number one, we need to acknowledge our feelings of loneliness and our desire to belong and connect, feel loved, and be loved. Number two, we need to grieve that separation from self and also the reasons why we feel lonely deep down within. The common notions could be no one responds with me or no one feels so deeply as me as I am always the odd one in the circle. Many a times we mask or suppress this loneliness by being on social media, a lot of continuously talking or projecting that we are having fun, or by some addictions like alcohol, work, eating, sex, lying, and traveling. Pausing is so difficult for people like these because the pause, rather than replenishing bring up wounds and panges of being alone. Being different or not belonging, of judgment, of feeling isolated, of feeling deeply unloved within. This pain is so unbearable that the unconscious mind would rather keep us entangled in this or that than pause and be. Just being can be a scary space. If I am just being, I am neither a wife, nor a husband, nor a mother, nor a father, nor a teacher, nor a student, nor a businesswoman, nor a businessman, nor a doctor, nor a healer. I am nothing, so who I am in this nothingness. To be able to embrace the nothingness or empty spaces within is so scary without spiritual or meditative knowledge. Let's take a step and feel our feelings and acknowledge them. From without to within, from everything to nothing, from denial to acceptance of our pain, let's make a new beginning. Spirituality has the power to change the loneliness into holiness. So let's begin our presentation from this moment to know what exactly this loneliness or the social isolation is and how we can overcome from it with the healthy mind, with the healthy breath, and with the healthy body. Our ancestors has given lot of effort and lot of knowledge related to all these psychosomatic diseases and psychosomatic trauma, which is really curable at this modern era also. The 5,000 ago, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that everything is possible through yoga technique, through breathing, through dhyan, or through meditation. Nothing is impossible, everything is possible. You just need to know yourself, you just need to be with yourself, and you just need to become self. And it's so beautiful. Life is really very beautiful if we are understand the beauty or science of our inner body and inner mind, mind moderations, thought process, emotions, how to handle emotions, and how to live life happily ever after. So let's start the presentation. So, social isolation issues from Paramananda Yoga, guided by Dr. Ramanand Guruji. I am presenting Assistant Professor Archana Srivastava, Masters in Yoga, IIT, Yoga Therapist, and YCB, Yoga Teacher Evaluator. Meditation is the only medication by Dr. Omanand Guruji. And with Guruji, I have seen and experienced personal and practical aspect, all of the therapeutic aspects in ashram itself. I have seen many people who came with grief, with pain, and with trauma, and how Guruji handled them very beautifully, very nicely, with the therapeutic techniques and tools of yoga and pranayama. IYA and IDY 2022. So very first I would like to thanks IDY who has created such platform to debate, to discuss, to meet, to talk about all these situations and the circumstances which is coming in social platform, and we can cure it easily through the yogic technique. Yoga is very old, like 5,000 before ago. Again, I'm saying Lord Krishna described beautifully in Bhagavad Gita with all chapters along with 18 chapters divided into three parts: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, including 700 shlokas, beautifully about the life moderations, mind moderations, and body moderations also. So I'm really thankful to Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, who has given such beautiful platform for all the yogis to the whole world. And this is our 8th edition. The United Nations General Assembly recognized 21st June as the International Day of Yoga. IYA has created an independent entity within itself named as IYA PRCB, Personal Certification Body, by giving functional and autonomy to it. PRCB is approved under the scheme of voluntary certification of yoga professionals owned by Yoga Certification Board and launched by Ministry of Ayush. Social isolation issues. Dukha Sanyoga Vyogam Sangeetam. Relief from the cause of sorrow is yoga. Lord Krishna from Bhagavad Gita. Isolation. The deep derived mental disorder, and at the time, if the people who are living in surrounding or the one itself is not aware or not know, may create lot of trauma or mess in their life. So it's time to give birth, to help them, to take them come out from that situation, to give them a beautiful healthy mind and healthy life. So let's take a look. 5 signs of mental health is falling apart.
Today's topic is on 5 signs your mental health is falling apart. Sharing this video with those who may need it will further help both them and our vision. In 1992, the World Federation for Mental Health declared October 10th as World Mental Health Day. This day has been celebrated for over 27 years by 150 countries around the globe, and with more every year. Mental health has quickly become one of the most pressing social advocacies of its time. In spite of this, there's still a startling number of people who fail to realize just how important mental health is. Emotional exhaustion is a serious concern, and burnout is considered an official mental illness by the American Association of Psychology. Both of these problems are a result of neglecting mental health. So, what are the warning signs your mental health may be at risk? 1. Your sleeping and/or eating pattern has changed. Do you find it difficult to eat or sleep right, even though you haven't made any significant changes to your lifestyle? If you do, that's a serious red flag for your mental well-being. Changes to note can take the form of either sleep deprivation, oversleeping, overeating, or not eating enough. According to a 2010 study by Kilgore, dramatic changes in a person's sleeping and eating patterns are often associated with poor personal care. Both eating and sleeping properly are patterns essential not only to your physical health, but your mental health too. When you don't get the rest you need, it can make it difficult for you to concentrate and be productive. It makes you more irritable, anxious, and stressed. On the other hand, an unhealthy diet can lead you to be less energetic, experience a loss of self-confidence, and more prone to depression. 2. You have unstable moods. Another common sign of poor mental health is having frequent mood swings. Do you find yourself feeling easily irritated or distressed by even the most minor inconvenience? If that's the case, your mind might be crying out for help. These sudden or intense shifts in your emotions are most likely caused by emotional exhaustion or overworking yourself. This symptom is telling you that you're past due and badly in need of a break. When you're neglecting your psychological health, your brain finds it more difficult to function and regulate emotions like normal. Because of this, you might find yourself feeling stressed out all the time, unmotivated to do anything, or overwhelmed by everything going on in your life. In extreme cases, some people experience anxiety or panic attacks from not being able to cope with emotional stress. 3. You feel disconnected from everything. Do you find yourself isolating from people you're normally very close to? Social withdrawal and isolation are some of the worst consequences of poor mental health. When this happens, you begin to lose interest in previously enjoyed social activities and don't want to be around anyone, even loved ones. You feel disconnected from everyone. You find yourself apathetic and emotionally numb, despite being outgoing or friendly before. These symptoms are critical signs that you need to start taking better care of yourself mentally. Isolating yourself from others can make it harder for them to help you, so you need to do your best to help yourself. If not, the possible worsening chronic loneliness, emptiness, and loss of hope may lead to severe consequences. 4. You feel down most of the time. Have you been experiencing frequent or prolonged depressive moods? Do you find it hard to feel any sort of pleasure anymore, even from things that used to make you happy? This is a cause for concern when it comes to your mental health. Aside from being moody and irritable, most of the time, people whose mental health is hanging on by a thread will seem disinterested, unmotivated, and exhausted. 5. You have difficulty concentrating. Do you have difficulty maintaining your focus and finishing tasks, even when the tasks are easy? If you find that it's harder than usual for you to concentrate, recall information, analyze problems, or even verbalize your own thoughts, then you're definitely suffering from mental exhaustion. Based on a 2007 study by Stelz and others, a majority of people with declining mental health show signs of impaired cognitive functioning. Commonly known as brain fog, this can happen when you're putting too much on your plate and not allowing yourself the time needed to rest your mind and do things you enjoy. Today's industrialized, competitive, and somewhat depersonalized society makes it so easy to neglect your mental health in favor of keeping up with your hectic schedule. So, being aware of the signs of mental illness could save your life and can help you from spiraling into depression or anxiety. If you struggle with any of these issues, please reach out to a mental health care professional today and get the help you need.
Okay, so let's take The flow chart is showing here about our nervous system. How nervous system works here. It's divided into two parts. In yogic science, Lord Shiva has described beautifully in Hatha Yoga, the very first scripture of Hatha Yoga, Shiva Samhita, Lord Shiva has explained 72,000 nadis all over the body, which are invisible and we cannot see them or feel them through the physical machinery or the physical touch. So these are divided into two systems, the central nervous system, which is called CNS, the peripheral nervous system is called PNS. So the brain functioning, receiving and process sensory information, initiates responses, store memories, generates thoughts and emotions, which is in our brain. And it's derived with the central nervous system. And again, the spinal cord, which is very important part of our human body, and it's also give the functioning, the body functioning in whole top to toe in formation of the different dimensions. The spinal cord conducts signals to the and from the brain, controls reflex activities. And the another branch, peripheral nervous system, PNS, motor neurons and sensory neurons. Again, CNS is muscles and glands handling by motor neurons and sensory organs to CNS. Motor neurons divided by somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. So controls voluntary movement, somatic nervous system, all the movements which you do itself is called the voluntary movements and it is helping by somatic nervous system. And again, the autonomic nervous system controls involuntary responses like your respiration, the circulation, all the inner body and the organ are functioning with the help of autonomic nervous system. Like blinking of eyes is also controlled by autonomic nervous system. It is also divided into two parts, sympathetic division and parasympathetic division. And this two major part from the autonomic nervous system deals with your emotional level and your physical level, which is deal with your emotions and it is bring healthy life or maybe the ill life. The sympathetic nervous system sign is flight or fight. Whenever you face the challenges, the sympathetic nervous system start working and give the exact result, whatever your mood or whatever your emotions still are there. And again, the parasympathetic division handle with the rest and digest. So the yogi works is on parasympathetic division, all of the pranayama, mudras, bandhas and asanas helping to increase the parasympathetic division to help and bring the life, health and consciousness. So what is the difference between yogic and modern science? Let's take a look. Yogic science is based on deep subjective aspects and knowledge. A yoga is very clear that most of the diseases are born out of mental imbalances, which is mentioned in Yoga Vasishta, our very beautiful yoga scriptures written by, commentary by Yoga Vasishta, Maharshi Vasishta, Adi and Vyadhi. Adi, which we can call the mental disorders, and Vyadhi is the physical disorder. Yoga is to maintain a perfect balance between all the elements present in the body, which we will discuss further. Yoga is the healing system of theory and practice. It's a combination of breathing exercises, physical postures, and meditation practiced by over 5,000 years. Yoga Vasishta, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita, some of the major, famous, and very good scriptures belongs to the yoga. And then let's take a look with the Western science, what they are saying here. Western science is mostly objective based. Medicines are temporary solution. Medical science knows only the first four elements of nature: earth, solid; water, liquid; fire, energy; and air, gas. The fifth, Akash, the sky element or the space element, this is the very point at which scientists get stuck. Science and spiritualism complement each other. Approaches are different. Science needs proof, research, and experiments. So, how yoga works or bring healthy and equanimity in your life? Yoga, pranayama, and meditation for healthy mind and body. These are some famous definitions or sutras or shlokas from our famous scriptures. Atha Yoga Nushasanam, the very first sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it describes the whole life solution of the health or the illness. He mentioned very first word Anushashanam, so that discipline. Until the discipline would not come in the life, nobody would be healthy, nobody can be healthy, and nobody will be happy also. So, Anushasan or the discipline is very important in life, and that's why it's mentioned in very first sutra of this very famous and very important scripture. Now, these days, if we will talk about the modern days, people are too much busy in their work, lifestyle, and other activities like enjoyment and other activities, which is completely they are engaged and they are not living in the healthy life. They are not ready, or maybe they are not aware about this discipline and such importance of this point. If we will talk about the nature, nature has everything on time. The sun arises on time, the sun sets on time, the moon comes on time, the moon sets on time. So all this nature cycle is very much connected with the Anushashan point, with the discipline point, so that we can see with the help of nature, the human beings are also get healthy and they bring life beautiful and they can bring their life in a health direction also. Number two sutra, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. From very first chapter, Samadhi Pada, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. This sutra describes all the psychology of human mind and the moderation and the fluctuation and how we can set that mind moderation and bring our mind free from all the trauma and aversions. So, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Here, Patanjali is saying that yoga is the complete stoppage or the cessation of mind moderation. And if we will talk with the normal people that what is mind and what is mind moderation, nobody would be really helped to say something about it because mind tendency is like something non-stop. Nobody has such power to handle mind with the mind. So it's very difficult to understand the mind. And when you such close the eyes and start to understanding the mind, it would be really difficult to stuck with one thought or with one thinking process or whatever is coming in your mind. You may be in the flow, you may be in the river of the thought and you cannot stop the thought. You would be stuck with your mind moderations and you don't have such capacity to stop it or to realize that what exactly the science behind this mind moderation with the chitta moderation. So our Patanjali was the great scientist, great psychiatrist, and great doctor. He described everything in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra along with 196 sutras divided into four chapters: Samadhi Pada, Sadhana Pada, Vibhuti Pada, and Kaivalya Pada. How one can understand the moderations of the mind and how they can work on it and how they can free from all delusions and how they can bring their mind in equanimity or in the balanced state. So he described beautifully all kind of stages of thought process, what kind of mind is there in your family, in your circle, in your surrounding, and in the society also. So, after understanding all this process, all this psychology, one can handle easily any kind of mind moderation diseases or fluctuations of thoughts or emotions. So, yoga's chitta vritti nirodha thought process or the cessation of mind moderation is the yoga. Yoga has such power to handle psychosomatic or the psychological illness also. If we will talk about the Western science or the Western psychiatrists, so our great psychiatrist Sigmund Freud has also described three moderations of the mind: id, ida, and superego. He also, if you will go through with such research and such method of him, you will realize it's very much related to our three gunas, the Prakriti three gunas, which is coming from the Sankhya philosophy. It's also related to the id, ida, and superego. So these three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, and id, ida, ego, are very much connected to each other, but it's need a lot of research to understand these process, these moderations. And in the last, I have put it here, Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya Siddha Siddha Yoga Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. So this is shloka. This shloka is from Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, Sankhya Yoga, a very important chapter in yogic aspect. The one who really want to follow the spiritual path or the yogic path, this chapter will help them a lot. The shloka is from second chapter, shloka number 48. Here, Lord Krishna is saying that if you would be able to bring your mind equal, like all the nadis, if to understand the shloka, we need to understand some philosophy of Hatha Yoga also, some science behind the Hatha Yoga also, with the, both the nostril left and right. We are having the masculine and feminine channel feminine energies in our body to bring them equal and bring them into Shushumna Nadi. It's bring the equanimity in the life. And yogi's whole journey is depend on this only. To perform your all karmas, your all action, you would be keep your mind all the time in the balancing state. Observe your nostrils, observe your breathing pattern, bring them equal, and live your life healthy, wealthy, and wise. So, yoga philosophy therapy. How yoga philosophy can help in any modern science or modern psychological disorder, physical disorder, or mental disorder, or any subtle root level disorders also. So, here take a look with some yoga anatomy also. I have described here about the three attributes of nature: sattva, rajas, and tamas from Sankhya. Three bodies: physical, subtle, and casual, Tattvabodha. Five sheets: food, breath, mind, intellect, and bliss from Taittiriya Upanishad. Five elements: fire, earth, water, air, and space, again from Tattvabodha. Five vital forces: prana, samana, apana, vyana, and udana from Prashnopanishad. Five sensory organs: eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and skin from Shiva Samhita. Five motor organs: mouth, hands, feet, organ of excretion, organ of reproduction from Shiva Samhita. So let's describe here, let's take a look what is into it. थ्री एट्रीब्यूट्स ऑफ नेचर, प्रकृति के तीन गुण सत्व, रजस और तमस. How it we can relate with such philosophy or such aspect in our health. So it's very beautiful science behind this sattva, rajas and tamas. Sattva is considered for light, rajas is for action, and tamas is for dark or dull state of mind. So, if we are having sattva or increasing sattva in our life, our energy goes up, our energy rises up, and with the action of rajas, we can have sattva up or we can have sattva down also. Rajas is the complementary, we can say the middle path of our health or the prakriti or the nature's attribute. Activity helps to take you up or take you down also. So tamas is very much related to the dull state or the dark state of the mind or the life. So if you know such signs, you can help people to bring them back from down to upward journey. And Sankhya philosophy has described beautiful with the 25 elements, how these 25 elements work with sattva, rajas, and tamas. And in the universe, in the whole universe, everything like with star, moon, all the trees, plants, stones, river, mountain, human being, four-leg species, water species, everything is related with these three gunas, with the three attributes of this nature. And one who know the science behind this sattva rajas tamas can easily handle such psychosomatic disorders, such deep-rooted or congenital diseases also. Then again, let's talk about three bodies, three sharira, physical, bhautik sharira, subtle, sukshma sharira, and casual, karan sharira. So the physical body is well known about the 99% of the world. They know how to deal with the physical body. Subtle body is something which is inside. We can segregate them with the breath body, mind body, and your intellect body also. We can see them as the Sukshma Sharira. They are there, but we cannot touch them. We cannot even scan them through the any modern equipment also. And the work of subtle body or the Sukshma Sharira is so vast. The whole science or the whole life of past, present, and future is completely related to your Sukshma Sharira. Not even this life, after death also, these body carries with the casual body, with the Karan Sharir. And Karan Sharir, which we can say here, your soul or Atma or the being, which is which is bounding to your Sukshma Sharira and physical Sharira. So these all three Sharira are also related or binding or combined together. Then, and this science is given by our great Sri Adi Shankaracharya from Tattva Bodha. Then after, we need to know about the five sheets or five layer of the body: food body, Annamay Kosh, Pranamay Kosh, Manomay Kosh, Jnanamay Kosh, and Anandamay Kosh, which is given by Taittiriya Upanishad. So five sheets or five koshas, which we call in Sanskrit the Panch Kosha, is also a deep science of human life or human being. So very first we can see the food body, the Annamaya Kosha. The name is also describe the importance of this body, the food body, completely channelized, energized with the food. And that's why we call this Annamaya Kosh, which is physical formation, which is in physical attribute. And then after breath body, the pranamaya kosha, which is the just second layer of your presence of your being, of your body. It gives the life force energy or the vital force energy in your body. And this is the major connection we can say in your death and birth. And if your thoughts and mind had created a lot, then rebirth also. Your karma depends or creates your rebirth. Then after mind body or the Manomaya Kosha, we can say the Manomaya Kosha is the bridge between your breath body, food body, intellect body, and blissful body. So the mind body is your complete world. As in Yoga Vasishtha described, Maharshi Vasishtha beautifully described as your mind is your world. As your mind, as your world would be. जैसा आपका मन होगा वैसा ही आपका जीवन होगा, वैसा ही आपका संसार होगा. So the mind body is the very important, and the yogis deal with this kosha with the dhyana, pratyahara, and dharana, and they reach after achieving all these states, they reach at the level of samadhi. After working on these three bodies, food, breath, and mind, your intellect body appears, which is really called the divine body, which starts giving you direction towards the right, towards the correct path, and towards the yogic path. Intellect guide you for all the wrong things, which is not good for your health, which is not good for your life. And when you are able to achieve the intellect body, then blissful body appears, the state of happiness, the state of bliss. And when you achieve this state, there is no trauma, there is no grief, there is no pain in your life, in your uh, jivan. So these concept also from Taittiriya Upanishad. And then after, let's talk about the five elements: fire, air, water, earth, and space. It's from Tattvabodha. Again, Sri Adi Shankaracharya has given this concept. And this concept, if you will see, if you will take a look in your surrounding, everything is related or in this five element. Fire in our body is navel region. Earth is the heavy formation, which is bone, skeleton. Water in our whole body, the amount of water is more than the other element in the body. And then air, which we know or consider as a prana, and the space, which is also in our whole body. And in inner body, space is settle down with every organs, with every system. It gives these vacuum, it gives the space or phase for the inhalation and exhalation of the prana. Then five vital forces: prana, samana, apana, vyana, and udana. In modern science, we know only about the oxygen or any other, some other chemical gases for life force. But in yogic science, our scriptures has given major five pranavayus or the vital force energy which are derived and which are functioning in different part of your body, like prana body is handling your respiratory system. It's situated in your upper part of your body, like below below neck and above to the diaphragm. Then samana, and samana vayu completely handle to your digestion, and it just start from your diaphragm to above to the navel region, and its work is digestion. It gives the helping digestion. Apana vayu is near your below the navel region and near your navel region, and it gives help in excretory process, and it helps in excretion also. Then talk about the Vyana Vayu. Vyana Vayu is circulation. It gives health, the life force, energy in your whole body, top to toe, in circulation form. Udana Vayu. Udana Vayu is above your neck region. It handles in speech. It gives helps in speech and above your sensory and handle all your sensory organs, mind, thought, brain, and your thinking process. Everything it's related with the Udana Vayu. And it's this concept is coming from the Prashnopanishad, one of the our 11 major Upanishad. They are talking about the different things as in Mandukya Upanishad. It described beautifully with very small shlokas, combination and collection about the Om, what is the Om, how Om works, and what should the moderation would be, what kind of Om is there. There are four types of Om, it's described there, Para, Pashyanti, Vakra, and Madhyama. So it's about the Om. And then, after five sensory organs eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and skin. It's from Shiva Samhita. Lord Shiva has explained about this Gyanendriya and how we can use this in yogic tools and techniques is beautifully described in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the very fifth formation of Ashtanga Yoga, Pratyahara. Until unless we would not be able to bring back or give them opposite direction of all these Gyanendriya, we would not get peace in our life, would not get healthy life in right formation. So we all knows very well that what the work of eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and skin. Yogis knows the secret science behind all these Gyanendriya. That's why whenever you close your eyes, you feel content, you feel blessed. Similarly, here are some rules to follow pratyahara like nose, ears, mouth, and skin. Whatever we are doing in normal life, whenever we start to performing the yogic life, we need to bring them back in opposite direction. We need to bring them back in inner world so that our journey will start and our blissful body will start to radiate to outer world. And then five motor organs: mouth, hand, feet, organ of excretion, organ of reproduction. Again from Shiv Samhita, Lord Shiva. What are the use of these motor organs? Normally, we know how to eat, how to walk, how to handle the risk excretion or reproduction, all such type of cycle, which is very much important to utilize being a human life, being in a human body. But excessive of anything may take you at the bias or maybe take you at the mess in your life. So yogis give these beautiful direction that how you can utilize all these motor organs and the sensory organs to bring them back inward and start your journey beautifully towards your blissful state and towards your vast personality or the being or the soul. So major scriptures here I'm talking about the yogic aspects related to the mental and physical health. So Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita 18 chapters, yoga mentioned includes 700 slokas. Lord Krishna beautifully described about yoga. The very first chapter, Vishada Yoga, is completely about psychosomatic conditions and moderations. Once you will go through, you will start realizing that such old book about 5,000 years ago is still working in the same in the modern era also. If you will go in corporate sessions also, people are using this for to take their own benefit. And if we will talk about the normal people, students, children's, girls, mans, married, unmarried, or whatever you are, you can utilize this beautiful Bhagavad Gita completely related to your normal life cycle, how to handle mind, and how to handle your life, to understand your breathing pattern, to understand your yogic pattern, to understand your body pattern. Then Yoga Vasishtha. The main principle of YV or Yoga Vasishtha is the world is the creation of mind, projection of mind. Prana gives stimulus to the mind. The main theory of YV is prana spanda, chitta spanda, and vasana or desires. So that if our pran body or breath body is not controlled, so that mind will start moving or shaking all over the world. So the chitta spandan bring the desires. As you come out from your chitta or come out from your steadiness, your breath will start working on chittness, and it gives direction to the chitta from wrong direction, and desires start coming in your life, and desires are the only reason, which is birth, death, and rebirth. Once you know the theory of this YV, you can handle or maintain your life beautiful. Adi, the mental illness, Vyadi, physical illness. These two strong words are very well connected. Any kind of disease, if you will see in your life, like if you'll talk about blood pressure, thyroid, sugar, or any kind of IBS or any kind of diseases, if you will talk about, it's all created with the mental illness or dull state of mind. First, mind start creating adis in your chitta, then it start impacting on your body in a physical formation. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, 5 types plotting of the mind with the relevance of three gunas. Maharshi Patanjali has given beautifully these 5 types of moderation or the plotting of the mind, which is Kshipta, Moodha, Vikshipta, Ekagra, and Niruddha, which is also considered with the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So the Kshipta mind is completely with the Rajas mind, and 95% of the people in the world having such state of mind, always busy in earning and spending money. They buying the things but not satisfied, they again create another world. So this kind of mind is completely, we can say, that materialistic mind. They take birth in the material world and they die in the material world. And then he says about the Mudha Vritti or the Mudha Chitta. This is completely about the tamas formation of the mind, and we can say the dark mind. And for example, we can give the criminal minds or the people who are not ready to come out for the positive life or right life. They always busy doing wrong things, for example, alcohol or anything which is giving harm to their own body, but they don't have such knowledge, they don't have such light to come out from that disaster to bring their life beautiful. Then after he says about the Kshipta mind, the Kshipta mind, which is something carrying all kind of gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. They want to come out from that disaster. They want to come out from the ill life, and they want to make the life beautiful. So somehow we can say the sattva is dominating other two gunas or the two attributes or the two elements. This mind is really a good state of mind, we can say, because it has capacity, it has strength to work or to fight with the inner two rajas and tamas minds. And then the ekagra mind. Ekagra mind is something which is established one pointedness towards the good life or the healthy life or the positive life. So we can say the sattva is the highest on that state, and at any cost they don't want to disturb their life. They will walk with the health, and they will walk with the yogic life, or they will walk with the spiritual life with the light, with the love, and with the kindness. And in the last, Patanjali says about the Niruddha. The Niruddha state of mind is something where no reflection of any gunas, no sattva, no rajas, no tamas, no light, no action, and no darkness. It's completely dissolved in spirituality, divinity, and blissness. It's complete the soul connection which takes granted, which takes your life to the right path and which takes your life to the divinity. And then again, he's saying for five mind moderations, five types of chitta vrittiya, which is very important and deep psychology to understand a human mind or human thoughts. Praman, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra, and Smriti. These five major mind moderations he described beautifully. And if you will see, any kind of chitta or any kind of mind is anyways related to all these only 5 points you can relate or you can connect such mind. So the pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, and smriti. Then again he is saying 5 reasons of sorrow or klesh or the dukh. So again he's saying avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. So he's saying clearly about why klesha or dukkha or the pain or grief comes in the life. Avidya, ignorance, ignorance of to not understand your own self, ignorance of to not understand your true being, that you are pure, you are blissful, and you are happy. Asmita, the ego, the wrong ego about the self, about your own, about the reality, the we can say the false ego here. Raga, the aversions or attachment. A lot of attachment is the cause of pain. Or in Hindi, we can say the moha or raga. And then again, dvesha, aversions. The human mind make like all such a positive and negative emotions. And if we will not aware, if we would not try to understand our mind, we will see how negative emotions or negative impacts are more stronger than the positive emotions. Then in the last, he says about the abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means here the fear of death, the fear of death and fear of any kind. And it's clearly mentioned in our scriptures the fear is the father of all diseases. If we understand this concept, we can live healthy and so pious and beautiful life. So death of fear is the one of the strongest fear, the knowledgeable or unknowledgeable or the people who knows about all the scripture or people who don't know about the scripture, they all are suffering with the last point, with the abhinivesha, until unless you are not blessed with the divine blessing, with the guru blessing, you cannot handle or win this abhinivesha. So let's say or understand how these yogic techniques to bring health in all dimensions. So very first I would like to mention here about the Ashtanga Yoga, Ashtanga philosophy or Ashtanga Yoga, how it handles to your food body through asana. In Ashtanga Yoga, Maharshi Patanjali has described 8 limbs: Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So these two major pillars of the very first initial Yam and Niyam, again he described and divided into 5 points. The yamas are completely for the social conduct: ahimsa, non-violence; satya, truthfulness; asteya, non-stealing; brahmacharya, to keep your mind in divinity or right direction; and aparigraha, not collecting unnecessarily thing in your life, because yogis carries always the light baggage to carry or to move anytime here and there. So if I will say the yamas are mentioned for the social conduct. So social conduct is very important, as we all know. We all are human beings, and human beings are social animal. If you will not connect yourself to the social or the society, they will not take care of yourself also. So it's very important to connect with, if the person will carry these five lines or these five words: ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. No one can bow down or no one can get down to them. It's a very powerful tool which is given by Maharshi Patanjali in Ashtanga Yoga, very first limb. Then Vinyasa Yoga, Restorative Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Holistic Yoga, and so many other modern yogas are there to maintain your body or to maintain your full body, Annamaya Kosha, through asana practice or the physical postures. Then talk about the breath body. In human body, there are 72,000 energy channels are working in invisible form. With the help of pranayama and breathing techniques, energy or vital force energy channelized and bring new life and health on cellular level. So as we already discussed about the pranayama, pranayama has such power to bring your mind equal and similarly to give healthy body also, because it works top to toe to toe. Various pranayama here according to various scriptures. For different body, different pranayama is described in major scriptures of Hatha Yoga, Gehran Samhita, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So the major formation of pranayama, if I will talk here, if I want to discuss here, the inhalation, exhalation, and holding. So inhalation, Rechak, Purak, and Kumbhaka. The Kumbhaka is mentioned a lot in Gehran Sangita for a power to increase a Shakti in your body, to detoxify your body from illness and to bring you wellness. And then after mind body through meditation, meditation is shown to thicken the prefrontal cortex. The brain center manages higher order brain function like increased awareness, concentration, decision making changes is the brain show. With the meditation, higher order become stronger, while lower order become decreases. So meditation is the such powerful technique which will bring you loneliness to holiness. So always meditation is such a powerful technique or the guideline given from our all ancestors and gurus and master. If I would like to tell my own experience here about the meditation, uh, with with the guidance of my guru, Dr. Omanand Guruji, whenever we do yoga, kriya, or any kind of meditation, it's completely different experience. I started feeling now. I can feel my all the chakras and the healing and the energy channel, how they are working in my mind, in my body, in my organs, in my whole being and in my whole personality. Mental well-being. This is the also very important and powerful tool given from Maharshi Patanjali. So according Maharshi Patanjali, Ashtanga Yoga and mental being is such powerful technique which can help to face mental health challenges related to social challenges. So today's topic was social isolation. We can relate if these four major topics or major keynotes, so we can come out from all such illness. Too much I-ness or too much I, may, creates trauma and increases ego. Ego never allows you to connect easily with people or surrounding. So, in such terminology, Maharshi Patanjali has given the word maitri or friendliness. If you would be ready or if you have such capacity to make a friends, make a good surrounding, so no one can or no emotion can throw you in mental illness. The rude behavior or ego insult people and keep discriminating over sad and poor people, and at the end, it leaves the person alone and bitter. Such personality, they try to show that they are so powerful, but at the end, they are alone, they are in deep, dive, sad emotions. So, in such personality, Maharishi Patanjali has given the word karuna, compassion. Keep compassion in your heart to see the people who are really not happy, are not in good situation. No matter if you cannot do anything good for them, but keep compassion in your heart. This compassion will give the chemical reaction in your body and it gives you down to earth. And once you know the science behind the down to earth personality, no one can move you into ill world or the psychosomatic disorders. In the society, every types of people are living. Some are rich, some poor, healthy, unhealthy, famous, insignificant. When mind is healthy, it's ready to accept all of them, no matter how much up they are. Then you can use mudita. The mudita is something which brings your mind, which brings your chitta, which brings your heart in happy state of mood, and it helps you to not go sink in sadness. In another phase, some people are with dark, dull personality and high on tamas. At any cost, they will poke and disturb in peace. Here, Patanjali says to complete ignore or avoid them, and it's called upeksha. Upeksha is something for the people who are really don't want to come their disaster, they don't want to come their hell life. So, no need to guide them, you can avoid them. So it would not be isolation, it just avoid to wrong company to save mind and its health. Time is cruel. Don't delay what need to be done today. It doesn't stop for anyone. Don't procrastinate. It waits for no one. Dr. Umanan Guruji. Some more beautiful lines are here. So if you are out there on your own feelings, like an aspen trembling in the wind, and you don't feel anchored or protected, prefected, and you can't understand, remember, it's real a human thing to go through seasons of discoveries along with cycle of bewilderment, stages of awkwardness, wave of grief, time of loneliness, moment of humiliation, and nights of uncertainty in these murky places in which we find ourselves. It's a vital we not turn inward and die, but grant ourselves grace and unconditional love. Words of wisdom and book expert from Suzanne. Yoga reduces the effects of traumatic experiences. So here I'm closing. So here we have discussed about the how we can come out from the social isolation issues. So it's very important to talk about such subtle and deep rooted problems which is increasing in our society, not in India. In all over the world, people are facing such challenges, and the result and the outcome is very sad. They commit suicide, they come in the very disastrous life. So it's very important. Being a yogi, it's our responsibility to help such people who are really not into good state of mind, who are really not happy and who need help. So it's good time to knock the door to come there, to call them, to meet them, and bring their life happy also. So it's a very beautiful lines I have wrote in my class Earth. I would like to share here about the life, about the beauty of life. It's in Hindi. ये जीवन एक सरिता समान बहती रुकती रुकती बहती, ये कभी सुखों का सागर है तो कभी दुखों की झील है, ये कभी मिले हैं सागर में तो कभी भरे हैं गागर में। जीवन तो ऐसी धारा है, जितना प्रवाह उतनी निखार, जिस नदी ने जितना ही बहाया उसने उतना ही फल पाया। सो इट्स बेटर to go in flow, be like a river, spread smile, spread happiness, spread health. Life is so precious, life is so beautiful. So I am closing here with the end prayer. Om सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. O Lord, bring health in all. O Lord, bring happiness in all. O Lord, we all be together. Om, peace, peace, peace. So Hariom, thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity from Paramananda. Thank you so much. Hariom.